I'm going to roll this throttle down even more. There's a horn coming on at 97. We're down at 90% now on the engine and rotor tack. I'm still flying. It sounds crappy, but don't let that horn distract you. We are still flying at 90% quite safely with two of us in here just pulling over 20 inches. May not be the most efficient, but we're still flying. Hello everyone, and welcome to another helicopter training video with Anthelion Helicopters. This is Alex Jaunt. I'm your pilot on this extremely gloomy day here in Long Beach. It feels like true English weather right now, so no need for sunglasses today, that is for sure. But nevertheless, we are going to get on with our training video selection here, and today it is Governor Off Operations. Now I know this is, quite a good topic for especially private pilots, because it's always something that people get quite wary of, manipulating the throttle without the governor and just via the correlator, and obviously there are some key points to remember when we're doing it. So, they're actually quite pertinent for us today as well, because I actually had a governor failure a couple of weeks ago, and we've been trying to track it down with all the electrical gremlins that you get in helicopters to fix it ever since. Which we have done now, thank goodness, actually in this helicopter, so actually very, very relevant and very pertinent. So we had some real life experience with it over the last couple of weeks. So today's flight, we're going to actually do a governor off pickup to start with. Now, a governor off pickup is not something you'd ever really do in a normal sense, because you need the governor working for actual normal flight, but say you were out in the middle of nowhere and you needed to get out of there, and get out there with the governor off, then obviously if you're now being stranded, then you just need to know how to do it. Plus you need to understand if the governor fails during startup what to do as well, so that you don't overspeed the crap out of the helicopter, which will make you no friends whatsoever. Then we'll go into the traffic pattern. We'll do the takeoff with the governor off as well, and just do the whole thing and go in the traffic pattern, and then we'll switch the governor on like in normal flight, and then actually switch it off like it would fail, and then talk about actually taking it down to the ground with the governor off as well, because that's more of a realistic situation. So without further ado, let's get this thing getting spooled up, and we'll do a governor off, pick up into a pan, and the rest of the flight. Alright, welcome, and hope you enjoy the show.
The airspace are in effect for the Los Angeles area. Contact flight service for additional information. 5G autos are in effect. Pattern operations closed. No practice approaches. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Uniform.
So, we're going to actually take the governor off right now, and here we go. Governor is off. So remember, 22 and a 44 are pretty similar here on a pickup. That correlator below about 20 inches is going to try and add way too much gas, trying to overspeed you all the time. Which is why you need to be very, very careful when your manifold pressure is below 20 inches on a normal pickup, in case you go into fails. Be prepared to roll it off. So when we're doing a governor off pickup, I usually in the 44 like to keep it below the red line, like 98, 99, just where the horn's not on. Because it will try to spike on you as soon as you start pulling it up. So you have to be very wary of this to, split your attention between those needles and outside. Don't just purely focus on the needles where it is important, because then you might get light in the skids and pick up, and you're actually not looking outside, and before you know it, you're in, sliding around, or even worse, a dynamic rollover situation. So just be super careful about that, and always err on the side of caution to start with. Just keep the RPM slightly lower than normally would be, so you don't risk going into the red on the upper side of the green arc of the engine on a governor off pickup. And like I said, the 22 and the 44 are pretty similar in that the correlator will add too much gas and get you to overspeed. So here we are, governor's off. We're at 70% right now. I'm just going to start manually rolling up.
Return kilos,
We've got one more check to do, of course. Slow roll up, rolling away from us, making sure my controls are all neutral. Alright, I'm going to try just doing a quick check of our RPM system. About 98%, there we go. Alright, so for my governor off pickup here, we're going to roll her up, I'm not going to bother making a radio call right now, to about 98, 99%. So it's going to be a normal pickup, but I know that now that I'm actually quite a bit below flight idle. As I start picking up, then those needles want to go straight away. See those needles? They're trying to raise. That's fine, I'm just coming into the green right now.
Are you getting any rain there yet?
I'm just going to roll off slightly, clutch light comes on,
Your information.
come up,
Everything southwest of that looks like there's some...
there it comes up, I'm starting to lighten the skids, I'm splitting my attention, roll off slightly,
No problem.
continue to come up.
Change approvals, yep.
We do this little dance, continue to pull up on the manifold pressure, roll off slightly as the correlator adds too much gas, looking outside, here we go, getting light in the skids, up we come. We're still perfectly in the green. Alright, so Governor's off, we're in the right area here, we're at 102. Long Beach Helicopter 74 Hotel Sierra with uniform at Atlantic. I'd like to take off from taxiway Juliet, join the pan for pad 3 please.
Number 74 Hotel Sierra, Long Beach Tower, stand by.
Okay, so we get to hover here with the Governor off. So now that we're close to 20 inches, things are pretty much normal that you would normally have with the Governor on. We're not moving too much whatsoever. So, you know, again, once you get above 20 inches, around about 20 inches, you can kind of pretty much fly it normally, like if the Governor is on and not worry too much about it, which is the irony of when people get the Governor failure in flight, they start to freak out a lot of times where, you know, as long as you've got good manifold pressure, nothing's really going to change.
4 Hotel Sierra, taxiway Juliet Beam Atlantic, cleared for takeoff, pad 3, clear to land.
Juliet, clear for takeoff, pad 3, clear land, 4 Hotel Sierra, thanks. Alright, so we're just going to come out here. So remember with big pedal inputs though, you are going to see the RPM going up and down. So right now we're going to do a right pedal input, so be prepared, you know. Right pedal, it's going to want to overspeed a little bit there. There we go, so just roll it up a bit. We're all in the green apart from the Governor. Off we go. RPM's not moving too much, just, you know, keep the attitude flying really good. The more level your attitude, the less changes in inflow angles, the less changes in RPM. So again, Governor off operations, smoother the better. And really just anticipate, you know, most of the time. So here we are, coming up, that's normal. Oh, what lovely, joyous weather it is out here right now. It's starting to rain, so flipping out, misery weather. Not the most fun flying we've ever done in this gloom, but, you know, we got to do it in all types. Alright, coming on to the downwind.
Southwest 2585, turn right, kilo, contact.
So actually I'm going to turn the Governor on now. Boom, there we go, turn the Governor on. So now we're in normal flight. I pull my car seat in this because it's a Raven 1.
Alright, over ground, southwest 2585.
And then on the downwind here, we're going to switch it off and put ourselves into a Governor off landing. Coming up to 500 feet. So remember again, you know, just as they wanted to overspeed us below 20 inches when we're pulling up, the opposite is true when we're going down. It's going to want to take away too much gas, and now we're going to have to roll on the throttle a bit. There we are, coming across, so I'm going to switch the Governor off. Alright, Governor off, normal approach. So now we're going to start coming down on the power, you know, warning lights are out, gauging the green, pressure temperatures are good. Just turn the radio down. As we're coming off here, RPM wants to sink on me a little bit. You can kind of hear the pitch of the aircraft change, so we'll actually just squeeze the throttle just a little bit. Roll us into the turn. And RPM's pretty smooth because my attitude's pretty smooth. Remember, Governor off operations so much easier if you got a level attitude. Pulling up on the power. Coming round on final.
Sure 5, let me try. I stepped on you halfway through, just sure if you want 30 Lima 3.
Alright, now we're on final. So, again, start to anticipate now. Any big collective movements are going to probably mean you're going to have to manipulate that throttle more. You know, give yourself lots of time. Don't try and do everything late. Again, you know, split your attention. Don't just focus on your gauges because you're not going to look where you're going and your sight picture will get all screwy. Then you'll put yourself to a super steep approach with big power changes and it'll make your life even more difficult with the Governor operations. So we're just doing this, treating this like an absolutely normal approach with a like crosswind, of course, because of this wonderful weather. My RPM is slightly low, which is fine. I don't mind it being low. I want it to be low right now because when I come in and have to pull power a bit, those RPMs will climb again because I'm down at 13 inches. So it's just anticipating a little bit here. Everything is looking absolutely fine. I'm not really manipulating the controls at all. Now as I come in to my spot, now I can see I'm pulling up the power. Those RPMs are trying to come up on me a little bit, so now I'm just squeezing them off a bit. very, very mildly, nowhere near as bad as a pickup, and we're back in a hover. And now if I need to set it down, just a normal hover, especially in a 44, I'm not too bothered if these RPMs go low, because you can hover around at this thing at 90% with the horn blaring and be absolutely fine. It really isn't an issue, so don't worry too much about that horn. The minute horn is a warning, it's not an absolute be-all and end-all. You know, it's just saying, hey, your RPMs are getting a bit low, sort it out. You know, don't let it distract you too much. I mean, I'll show you what I mean here. I'm going to roll this throttle down even more. There's the horn coming on at 97. We're down at 90% now on the engine and rotor tack. I'm still flying. It sounds crappy, but don't let that horn distract you. We are still flying at 90% quite safely, with two of us in here just pulling over 20 inches. May not be the most efficient, but we're still flying. So don't let it worry you. And if this was the case, you're doing a governor off set down, we would just come slowly down on the collective, like normal. Still got plenty of lift. Set it down. Come down all the way in the collective. RPM sinking. Correlate's taking away too much gas. Obviously then the horn comes off when the collector's all the way down. So don't worry about that low RPM when you're doing a governor off landing.
Number 6 Charlie Bravo, base approved, runway 2.
Especially in the 44, you've got plenty of lift, and really you should be able to learn to do it with a 22 as well. It's far more of an issue on overspeeding on startup. Alright, so here we are, governor down, governor off, down on the ground. We'll do one more roll up to bring it up to flight. Slowly squeezing it up. Just to give you guys an indication again, another pickup, and then we're pretty good.
We're actually in the middle of the turn.
They're rolling up nice and smooth, just to below the red. Remember, you're going to split your attention now. We'll actually keep it at 96%.
Sure 5, I'll call your base.
The horn probably going to come a bit. Here we are, starting to come up on the collective. The needles want to go, so we're rolling off a bit. Keeping light on the controls, two-stage pickup, rolling off again. Keeping it in the green. Pulling up smoothly, gently rolling the throttle off at the same time. Be mindful of your pedals because they will move at some point. Here it gets light on the skids, continue pulling up. And we are in hover. There we go. Governor off pickup. So, like I said, I'm going to set it back down here just to conclude this video now.
Sure 5, caution, wake turbulence, number 2, runway 30, Abim Lima 3, clear to land.
Here we are, just coming down. There we go. Take it below 70. So there you go, that's a governor off. Pick up and set down and flight. Now, again, you know, this could be fairly common, especially these days, and unfortunately with the quality of the mags, they seem not to be for some reason as good as they used to be, but, you know, governors will fail on you, and the biggest thing is, it's not a cause of panic. It's just a cause of going back to your training and flying to the nearest possible safe landing area, which is your airport, your destination airport, with the governor off. As long as you stay ahead of the aircraft and keep as much level attitude and good attitude flying as possible, you shouldn't have an issue with it. You know, obviously don't take off with the governor off, but be prepared for it to fail on the way up as well. Be prepared to roll that throttle off, guard that throttle. With your existence, because a cold overspeed of the aircraft is obviously not what we want. We did good to avert it when our governor failed the other day. So really just guard it. Just understand the mechanics. Understand that correlator, although it does give very, very good mechanical control and correlation on the your mixing unit, it does not function accurately below about 20 inches on the 44 or the 22. It will add too much gas on you when you're picking it up, and it will take away too much when you're going down. That's where the governor really comes into its own, where it's fine-tuning it. So just on your pickups, always watch that governor and what it's doing. And if it looks like it's starting to get slow or erratic or lag, just keep a very firm grip on that throttle to override if required. And then when it fails in flight, again, don't panic. Just turn it off. If you start to feel that throttle moving way too much in your hand, which to me was a precursor for the magneto not doing its thing, the throttle literally just wanted to turn left and right on me, and then it really started to try and over-crank on the engine significantly, to the point where it was quite hard to roll it off, and then you just obviously had to switch it off and fly governor off operations there. But just recognise what it's going to do and actually try and turn it off before it gets really bad and it starts to distract you in flight, because believe me, you don't want to be fighting the RPM in flight. Just turn it off before then. and fly back manually. And just practice it. Don't, you know, even as a commercial pilot, just practice governor off stuff in these Robinsons. It doesn't hurt, especially when the magnetos are finicky. Robinson is coming out with some new stuff, hopefully. Honestly, it already comes with some new redundancy stuff on the new 44s. We're waiting for them to roll out the kits on the old 44s to make these mags a bit more reliable and to make the system more reliable. Because, like I said, it's rare that the governor itself goes wrong. It's usually the mags, but for all intents and purposes, it will look like the governor's going wrong, and you're there, you know, focusing on the cockpit, trying to fly the thing. So, with that being said, you know, do a good pre-flight. Make sure that you know, you understand how the governor works, what the indications are of faulty motors or faulty friction plates versus the mag. Chances are it's the mag. If it's trying to pull it up, your engine RPM up, it probably is the mag rather than the governor. If it's starting to lag down, then it'll probably be the governor motor. If you get momentary spikes, then it could be the friction plates going on the governor, but that's less likely. That'll be the same indication as the mag, but that is a less likely thing. Again, good way of diagnosing it: turn the governor off, and if the engine RPM is still spiking on its own as you roll up and down, then there probably is the mag, other than the tach. So just, you know, a little bit of diagnosis goes a long way. So keep it cool. Don't panic. Governor operations are relatively simple. Many, unfortunately, in the past have done emergency landings because of it, because they know how to deal with it, which is another world of things that you don't want to do. It's understand your procedures, and just fly safe. Just keep practicing. Practice, and more practice. If ever you don't feel good about it, go practice again. Alright, hope you guys have enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. I know I actually got some good training out of it when our governor failed last week, a couple of weeks ago, or the mag as the case may be. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time from the training video with me, Alex John, and Anthelion Helicopters. Bye. Promised Helicopter 4 Hotel Sierra, pad 3, requesting air taxi back to Atlantic Juliet.